I'm live. Just gonna figure this out, guys. See if it's coming through. Let me check here. Check what's going on here. See where it's at. How far am I cut off here? Okay. All right. Can you feel me? I think I'm in here enough. Lighting is a little weird. But hey, I'm here. thanks for watching or coming in. Nobody's here yet, but the people who do, thank you. And anyway, thanks for watching the channel in general. I noticed we've gotten some more subscribers. I'll mention it a little later, but much appreciated. Certainly more so because we don't post as often as a lot of people do on YouTube. It's really when we can, when the mood is striking us, when we feel creative and passionate about a certain subject, that we'll bust it on open and we'll do some more. But anyway, I thank all you folks who are coming on and checking it out. I've gotten some good emails recently from people who are seem to be enjoying the channel, really taking in some of the episodes and the topics and giving some good feedback. So again, thank you. And I'm just gonna talk about what's been going on, I guess. Tis the season, tis the magical time of the Christmas holiday is rocking along. You know, we're early December. This is the month, folks. So I'm cruising along on that. I want to talk about the movies and of course the big sale that's going on. The 80s, anything really, any questions you guys have, anything that pops up, I'm ready to rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? And again, for some reason, because I'm looking at the show on a laptop that seems to be a little bit lagging. It always lags for some reason. I'm not sure why. So I will try to get to the questions as they pop up. It might be slow. Obviously I'm doing it in our living room right now. The upstairs, the 80s room, if you will, has now become sort of like, hey, psst, hey, sort of the junk room. Not junk, but because the living room has turned into a winter wonderland, we took a lot of stuff that was in here and put it up into the 80s room. And then, like, in general, I think upstairs in that particular room, I'm not 100% sure what I'm really going to do with it and how I'm going to change it, because there is some changes coming for Crept in the 80s, and I guess that room in my life in particular. So that's why nothing has been shot there for a while, because it's a mess. So I figured I figured the I'd get the Wi-Fi a little better down here, right where the magical Wi-Fi station is, and it's still kind of lagging. But yeah. So There's another episode. Thank you, the people who have been watching the response to the first Christmas episode we did, which was put up maybe last week or a week and a half ago. It's gotten some good feedback, and we've gotten some good comments, and we are going to shoot another one because, as you've seen, Christmas is my favorite time of the year, and we've got a lot to talk about as far as our 80s Christmases go, and certainly my adult Christmases that still feel very much like my 80s Christmases because I am a big kid. But we are shooting another episode of that coming up. We're going to shoot a little bit. We have a annual, it's sort of like every summer I do this thing called Gash Bash, where all the gang, my extended family, basically my best friends, who also do the movies with me. When we don't do movies, we still do this thing every year where we all get together and we swim and barbecue and watch movies and just geek out for 5 days. Well, I also do a thing every winter. It's like the Sievage Family Christmas, the Seaver Family Christmas. Sievage, everyone calls me Sievage, but where a bunch of us also, all the gang, who can do it, come from all over, and we spend a whole day just watching Christmas movies of all types, horror, classic, comedy, specials and whatnot, snack, and then do like a family dinner, and then a sort of family portrait, if you will. Always goofy, always a good time. But that's coming up in a few days, actually. So we'll be shooting some footage for that and adding it to the next episode of Crept from the 80s, which will be our second Christmas episode. And then there'll probably be a third one right after Christmas to sort of talk about the stuff we got, show the stuff off, maybe even show footage that I shot of the family, opening gifts and all that good stuff. So that's coming up. And then, there'll be different things happening in the new year with the channel. I'm hoping a lot more movie-oriented stuff for the channel, which would be nice. That's all up in the air. Who knows what's going to happen with that? But we will see. And there might be a change of locations for Crept from the 80s. That's a possibility, and that's something that is being mulled over and talked about. Because I think we can do better. I want to try to do better for you folks out there. And for us making the show a little more comfortable, a little bring us in even more into the 80s nostalgia and all that good stuff. Make us feel a little more at home, if you will. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of early. I wanted to do this a little early, get it at least going. It's 5:30 right now where I am, and I'll do this for close to 3 hours. If people pop in and start talking, and if you guys are into it, and if I'm not just staring into a into a void here. But I wanted to also talk about well, sort of. Every now and again, we try to shoot a Christmas short. We've done it throughout the years with the gang, with the LBP gang, and it's just a dumb fun thing to do to add to the YouTube channel. Um, it's just something creative. When we get together, we just do just write a really stupid little short that's Christmas oriented, usually vulgar and gross and dumb and just you know nonsensical, and we don't put a lot of time and effort into it. Um, and we got another one coming this year, I think. I mean, lots of things keep happening with this one as far as like people's availability and people canceling and things of that nature. So we're supposed to shoot a short this in like a few days. But I mean, I've had to rewrite, and it's usually only like 10 pages, and it comes out to like 20 minutes or something like that. But I've had to write a bunch of different things because people keep kind of busting out on it. Maybe we're shooting a short to throw up on the YouTube channel this Christmas for all of you to enjoy or not enjoy if you hate the little Christmas shorts we do. A couple years ago, we did a Stoink Mare Before Christmas. And hey, stop it, you idiot. And tonight, this couple days, we're shooting a Stoink Mare Before Christmas 2 TOO. So, perhaps the same things are happening to a different group of people? I don't know. Anyway, ooh, some people are actually here. Okay, so we got Siler Legacy. So how's the Christmas season been going? Have a good Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving was good. Had a small little family gathering, I guess, if you will. We had to do it the night before Thanksgiving, actually, because Katie and I had some things going on Thanksgiving. But it was fine. Truth be told, I will say this as far as Christmas is concerned. There's a lot of things in my personal life that have been like bringing me down. Some depression and whatnot, things of that nature, and things that have just keep happening and folding over each other, and they have soured some of my usual gusto and lust for the Christmas season. But it's early. I was in the Christmas spirit, and then a lot of crap happened, and now I'm kind of, but I'm hoping to get back into it, because as I've said many times, it is my favorite time of year. So, hopefully the cheer is coming back. Chase Party? I know. Dude, I feel like I've talked to you earlier today. Was it me? I don't know if it was me. Brian Short, hey Chris, loving the Christmas decorations. Ah yes, this is just some of them. We have quite a bit up. Actually, our whole house on the inside is decorated because we are a family that loves Christmas. We have a little bit outside. We can't really go full crazy outside because we just don't have the proper equipment to do what we want to do for the outside. So we do a little bit outside, and then inside we kind of go balls deep, and we put some up everywhere. There's the living room, the game room, the kitchen, the hallway upstairs, our bathroom, and Katie and our bedroom is all Christmased out. The only rooms that aren't Christmased are River's room, the 80s room, which is now a mess right now, and the home theater down in the basement. That's it. Everything else is Christmased. Christmas has thrown up on our house, and we love it. And this year we went even more overboard than we usually do. It was, but yeah, that certainly helps with the Christmas vibe in this house, even if I'm going through a rough patch right now. So, what do we got here? Yes, Chase, you did. I don't know. I still don't know if it was me, even with those ticklish vibes. Silo Legacy. There's an 80s room? Oh, yeah, the 80s room is what we usually shoot at Crept from the 80s from. That is a dedicated room that just has a bunch of 80s stuff in it. Um, that's upstairs next to my son's room. And right now it's being used as like a house dump because we took so much out of the area to put away so that we could bring the Christmas stuff out. And then, as I said in the beginning of the video, I'm retooling that room anyway. I'm going to be redoing some things to it, and we'll see what happens. But yeah. Yes, I like the room too. Yes, and it will be even better after Christmas, and some new things are added and things are taken away, and I changed some things around for sure. What are you doing? Get out of there. These cats, like, once the Christmas tree went up, it's like, there's water everywhere. I mean, there's water available to them in the house, but for some reason they wanna bolt to under the Christmas tree because we always get a real tree. So they're always sneaking over there. Beasts roam free in our houses, friends. Never forget that they're beasts. Yes, the 80s room is where the magic happens. The magic of the 80s. The magic of my childhood. So thanks, guys. Thanks for the few that are here right now, talking to me. Any questions? Anything you got on your mind, in your brain pan? We'll talk. We'll rap. The more that people get in here, the more I'll talk about some other stuff. But yeah, that's what these Q&As are for. These live shows, just rap. And like I said, I don't know if you were here right in the very beginning, but I'm here for a couple hours. I'll talk with you guys. And Siler Legacy, the RetroCon maybe you're talking about? I don't know, we did talk about RetroCon. On one of our other videos, Casey and I did, because we did RetroCon and then we did LA right after that, right in the same week, and it was fine. Last year's was better. This year's just was weird. And like we said on the video, like, tons of amazing things there to get, but we couldn't get anything. It was a weird one for us. Yeah, so that answers your question. We do talk a little bit more about it in depth in the last video that Casey and I did. That's up on the channel. So. But what do you guys think? Christmas. What's your take on Christmas? You fans out there, are you fans of Christmas? Are you among a lot of the people that I see in my daily life that are like Grinches about Christmas? I don't know. So Christmas doesn't hit a lot of people, the way that it hit me or hits me, or some even a lot of the gang. They're not as gaga over it as I am. I see a lot of negativity around Christmas. Unfortunately. I mean, people like what they like, but that's my thing, man. Chase, if there was a Sievage Con, I think about 10 people would show up, and those 10 would be part of the group, because not even all the group would even show up. Yes, Silo Legacy. Love it. Best time of year. You're right. I agree with you. Yeah, Siege Con. It ain't gonna happen, unfortunately. But good. Thank you, Silent Legacy. I'm glad you're one of the Christmas warriors. The warriors of Christmas. We did this back in, I think it was 2010 or early 2011, when we made the last low budget pictures movie, which was technically Return to Bloodfart Lake, which I am not a fan of. We did this sort of like, it was like a fan appreciation slash LBP marathon slash LBP reunion sort of farewell thing, before we went over into Warlock Home Video, up in Syracuse at this awesome place called the Palace Theater. It's a really beautiful theater, old school theater. And, maybe, I want to say maybe 40 people came. But it was cool, it was cool to see the hardcore fans that actually came out and drove many miles to come to it. And it was neat to see a bunch of the movies on like a huge movie screen. So that was cool. There is a video of it somewhere. I've actually been making it a part of people's bundles when they are getting the LVP Warlock holiday sale deals. That's been like an extra. It's a disc of some of the festivities that went down that night, as an extra for people. Good, Brian. Excellent. Christmas, again, Christmas Warrior. Chase, Christmas rules, dude. Good. So I'm dealing with some good people here who enjoy the Christmas holiday and the Christmas spirit. It is, yeah. As I said, I'm dealing with some stuff, but the spirit is coming back. It was here, then it was gone, and now it's trying to tear its way back. So, yeah. It's unfortunate that a bunch of craps happened to us and to me the last, I would say, 5 months, maybe 4 months. It's been a rough last half of the year for sure, and everyone always said when they have like shitty times or shitty years or shitty periods in their life, they always say, "Man, I can't wait until such and such to get here because I just want to forget this." But really nothing is changing. The start of the year isn't a actual change. It's just a day. It's another day, and it's up to the person to sort of make the change they want to make. A year shouldn't be an issue. A year shouldn't be the determining factor on, well, once I hit 2019, that's when everything's going to change. It's silly. It's us as a society that puts that silly stuff out there, and we go by it. Because tomorrow could be a great day, and it could change everything. It has nothing to do with the years or any of that stuff. And again, a lot of it has to do with you, myself, the person who can make the changes or help steer your ship in the better direction you want it to be in. So, I don't know. This stuff is great, right? Because it's also like therapy for me. I get a nice therapy session out of all this stuff. The legacy of Seaver will never dwindle. Let's do a vote for Chris to make another movie. Yeah. Good luck, Chase. Silent Legacy. I would agree with you on that. This year has aged me 30 years mentally. It's a rough one. Christmas does, and like I said, usually I am like so happy through like November, December, because it is the Christmas time. It's Christmas holiday, man. But things just keep piling that we're just like, man. So I'm really trying to get into the twinkling light of Christmas again and get myself out of this humbuggery. Well, that's good, Siler. That's good. I'm trying. I'm trying, brother. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. So I'm gonna talk about the LVP Warlock deals that are going on. I know, like, you guys, it's when you're somebody like me who, if you're a filmmaker or a creative and you don't really make money, and the word starving artist is a real word, a real part of your life. You promote, and you promote a lot, and much to the chagrin of people. So probably throughout this live stream, I will be promoting this a lot. But I am, I'm doing this deal not just for you folk who are actually talking to me, but the people who watch this video and people who might pop on. But I am doing a deal right now for a bunch of my films. I've made a lot of movies, and I'm not able to sell all of my films. I don't even own all of my films. Some of the masters I don't even have anymore, and some of them I don't like so much that I don't even own myself in my personal collection. But there's about 46, 47 movies that I do sell myself. I have to make myself. I do it all here at the house. Scissors and making copies and doing all that good stuff. But, so I've got a deal going for the LVP Warlock Years of the Flicks. You can get 6 movies for $50. You can get 100 movies. 12 movies for $100. 24 movies for $200, and then like 46 movies for $300. And the tiers that go above 50, you always get some extra goodies, like behind the scenes DVDs of some of the stuff that we don't have on the regular DVDs, and maybe scripts or some of the posters. Actually, we've only got three posters left that will go to someone who gets a $100 tier, a $200 tier, or a $300 tier. But we've only got 3 posters left, and we've got 2 Happy Holidays posters, and we've got one Evil Knight poster left. Mein Kampf, only one? That's it. That is it. And then we have no more posters left. So if anyone gets those bundle deals, they won't get the posters unless they get one of those. Obviously, if somebody gets the 300 bundle, then 2 of those posters are going immediately. And then we got this fun, these are also part of it, we've got this fun, you're a Warlock Warrior Ghoul Squad Certificate of Gorthenticity with your name. And you can have it and hang it up and do whatever you want with. Use it as toilet paper, what have you. But we did this a few years ago, and it was fun, and yeah, it was cool. But you can, if people are interested in that, they can get a hold of me at warlockhomevideo@gmail.com, and I can send you a list of all the flicks that are available for you to get. And that's even the ones that we have on Blu-ray. You get Blu-ray, you get DVD. And right now, we can only make 3 VHS versions of some of the movies because they stopped making the certain cases that I used for some of the flicks. So I'm shit out of luck for those. So I can only do Dibecue, Death O'Lantern 1, and Dingleberries for the clamshell VHS releases. So, oh, what about him? Oh wait, what would David Zucker do, Chris? David Zucker's a filmmaker who makes millions of dollars and has millions of dollars. He's still making movies, and he's got that opportunity. Chase. That's what David Zucker would do. Brian Short. Any new movies you're excited for that's coming out this month? Sorry, guys. There are questions here, and I'm gonna rock through them. Any new movie? This is from Brian. Any new movies you're excited for that's coming out this month? I think Bumblebee looks pretty good. Love the G1 designs. I am excited about Bumblebee. I love Transformers. I too am excited that it's being set in the 80s and the beginning is on Cybertron and it's in their original G1 forms, which is amazing. Super excited for that. I don't know if you were a kid of the 80s, I don't know how you can't be excited for it. And I'm somebody who doesn't hate the Michael Bay Transformers movies. I actually love the first one that came out in 2007. And then they got progressively and I felt like the last one was just like enough. Like time to. I like Michael Bay as a filmmaker. I'm all about the action and blow 'em ups and garbage. I love all that. But I was just like, okay, enough is enough for the Transformers movies. You've done it 5 times now, and it's almost literally the same movie every movie. So I was just like exhausted, really. Like, okay, Michael Bay, get away from the Transformers. Go make, more blow 'em up fun movies. Give me Bad Boys 3. They are making Bad Boys 3. For some reason, Michael Bay isn't directing it, which travesty. But anyway, put somebody with a new vision, new creativity behind the Transformers stuff, and they finally got the Kubo and the 2 strings dude who's doing Bumblebee. So I'm excited. And then I know that they're shutting that sort of side of things down after Bumblebee and restarting the Transformers as a new, which is great. I'm all about that. But I'm interested to see Aquaman. I want to see Aquaman. I'm not a huge DC guy, but I do want to see what they do with this. I love James Wan as a filmmaker, so I'm excited for that. I am super pumped for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Super pumped for that. I'm a huge Marvel guy. Spider-Man was my all-time favorite superhero growing up. I'm all about Spider-Verse. So, Captain Marvel trailer. The new Captain Marvel trailer is tonight, so I'm excited for that. Infinity War trailer is just a few days coming up for Part 4 or Avengers 4. Excited for that. You know what? And I want to see Mary Poppins. I do. I'm a big kid at heart. I want to see what they do with this thing. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Okay, so what do we got here? I love that Evil Knight poster. It was just a good movie in general. Thank you, Silent Legacy. I agree too. I don't like a lot of my movies, but Evil Knight is one that I do like. Adam Nothing. Hi, Chris. This is Adam, who you have been recently emailing. Aha, hello. Have you ever seen the horror film American Gothic from 1987 with Yvonne DiCarlo from The Munsters? Underrated movie. I have not. I know the cover and all that stuff, but I haven't seen the movie, and I love The Munsters. So you and I should get together and watch it. Question 2. Have you ever seen the Xmas movie A Christmas Carol with George C. Scott? Yes. It is my favorite Xmas movie. Looking forward to getting my movies. I have seen the George C. Scott. I love quite a few Christmas movies. A Christmas Carol in general is a great Christmas story. And I've seen many versions. And, I mean, one of my favorites is The Muppets Christmas Carol. I love it. I love the Muppets. I love Jim Henson. I love all that stuff. Question from Silo Legacy. Do you still do Warlock home video stickers? I want more to put on my... we don't. I mean, you can get them from TeePublic, because we do have a teepublic.com website or store on TeePublic. that that whole T Public thing is interesting. I'm shocked that I haven't taken it down yet, but um, I think it's cool because it does get the word out there, because they make the stickers and all sorts of things, shirts and sweaters and cups and all that stuff. So it's cool to have like our stuff on those items. We don't. I mean, the ratio of what the artist gets as opposed to what T Public gets is ridiculous. So it's interesting. I mean, I guess if you're like a really popular designer on that site, and you are getting like hundreds to thousands of people getting your stuff every month, I can see that being beneficial. But for somebody like us, who, I mean, we, you know, you know, the monthly statements are under like $20. But regardless of that, if you want a Warlock sticker, you can get them at TeePublic and things like that. It's tpublic.com/lowbudgetpictures. There's some stuff up there. There's some Teen Ape shirts and some 80s shirts and LBP Warlock shirts. So no, but we don't have any more of the original stuff. Usually, because all that stuff, like the shirts, the ancillary stuff, the shirts and the stickers and any of the other odds and ends that we made for Low Budget Pictures or Warlock, all that stuff was usually made specifically for when we were going out to conventions, because we didn't really sell a lot online, and I hated being like an online store. That wasn't me, and I didn't like it. I much rather do these, off and on little things where if fans ask, I will gladly sell, or I do these holiday deals, which help out during the holidays immensely. So if they ran out or sold out at a convention, that was it. We didn't really remake a huge ton of them for for any everyday thing. We just, we got a convention coming up, we should have some extra things. And now we don't even do that at all anyway. I mean, we haven't done a con in a while. And actually the next one we're doing is at Horror Hound Cincinnati in March. And we haven't done a show in a few years, so it's going to be interesting to get back into it and sort of see what happens. We're bringing out a lot of old movies as well, and hopefully going to promote this damn Death of Lantern remake. It's been like in limbo for a couple years now, but hopefully we'll have that ready to go by then. That is like so close. I mean, we've shown it. It has been shown to the gang this past summer. A rough copy of the movie was shown, and then because of the way we shot this thing and the cameras that we used, my computer just could not handle the workload. It just couldn't. We're shooting on 4K stuff that we've never, we've been shooting 4K the last, I would say 5 years, but these cameras were even more crazy than the last stuff we've been using, and my puny little crappy computer just could not handle it, so I couldn't edit it. So that's why it's been taking so long, because I put it in the hands of Clint, our cinematographer and actor and part of the gang and everything, and he lives in Florida, and he was just jacklacking. He was just slacking to the extreme. I was like, listen, my style, my editing style, my flow, what a Chris Seaver flows, and I trusted him to do it, and it's been a long time. But he finally did an edit, and then I needed tweaks. When we watched it, I wrote a bunch of stuff that he needed to change, and he did that, but then we also needed visual effects for 4 scenes in the movie. And so now we're just waiting for this guy to finish the visual effects. And what he did was great. He did show us a preliminary of what he was doing, and it's ridiculous and it's funny, especially for being in one of my movies. I mean, it's almost a little too good for one of my films, and the movie looks better than anything we've ever done ever. The movie itself is garbage, but it's funny garbage. Like it's batshit stupid, and it doesn't have any right to look as good as it does. But I gotta say, I'm really chomping at the bit to get this thing out to everybody so they can see it, so they can at least see what we did over 2 years ago. So, okay, what do we got here? Sorry, guys. Yes, Silent Legacy. I did mention that. Do you get anything from them if you buy there? Because my money I throw, I'd like to be made rain over you. Yes. Like I said, I only get for each shirt that's sold on TeePublic, it's $2 to me, and the rest go to them. So, if you know how much you're spending on TeePublic, you know how much they're getting. Yes, Greg. I can hear you, Clem Fandango. I can hear you. Greg, excellent. Stoink, stoink, my good man. I'm glad you got your stuff. Thank you. And thank you for supporting me. This is, like I said, it's been a rough patch, and this sale has really been helping me out. Specifically for something I'm trying to do, not just for Christmas, because let me say this. Every Christmas, it's the one time of the year where I feel like us as a family can go balls deep as far as presents for everybody. And we love giving presents. It's fun to receive as well, but I really love giving presents, and I love seeing people's faces and the excitement and just seeing how happy and excited they are. And this year has been a little rough because of a lot of things that are going on in my personal life and things that have happened and where a lot of the depression is coming from. So, this holiday sale that I'm running has been really fantastic, and it truly is helping me out, helping to give my family a fun Christmas. And I'm trying to do something really stupid for me to try to do because of barely any income, because of the situation that I'm going through right now. I'm trying to do something really special for my wife. One, because she deserves it tenfold. And then two, because I've never, ever, ever in my life been able to do something like this for her, or for anybody, or for me. So, and I'm about $500 away from being able to do that. So, these bundles are really helping. So thank you. Thank you to the people who are helping me out. But yes, Greg, I hope that you enjoy the package of Stoink that you got. Please let me know what you think of the new golden farts that you got. Stoink, stoink indeed. Adam, what is your favorite, least known, hilarious, low-budget horror film you have ever seen that could be found to watch fairly easily? I am always looking for new ones to see. Oh, man. What is your least known, hilarious, low-budget horror movie? I don't know. I mean, I would assume that you're familiar with the Polonia Brothers stuff. I mean, all of the Polonia Brothers stuff is just garbage. But I love them. I love what they did. They were part of the group that inspired me growing up in the 80s, and in the late 80s to start LBP, early 90s the Polonia brothers were there. So if you haven't seen any Polonia brothers films, do yourself a favor and check them out. If you have, then you know what I'm talking about. You may love them. You may just really hate them, and you may be able to laugh at them like I do, but still see the charm in what they do. Thank you, Greg. Well, you know, keep making movies, I'll keep buying them. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You never know. Mike, thank you. Thank you. Big, I don't know if you just heard my rant about the bundles and everything, but Mike, you're one of the people who actually went for the full-blown 300 bundle, and huge thank you, because that helped so much. And I can only hope that you enjoy the hours upon hours of schlock you're about to see. Well, yeah, I mean, Todd Sheets is amazing. I don't know. Yes, Adam, check out Polonia Brothers, um, the films of Todd Sheets, the films of Todd Cook. Again, if you want to see stuff that you can also see the charm in, but you'll laugh at, or you might just be downright like, "Oh my God, this is terrible." But ooh, Mike, you did. Oh, so you already got the set, Mike. That's great. Greg, yes, I have seen those movies. So this stuff that I'm talking about is the low budget. I mean, it's low budget. It's right there with my stuff, even below. uh, but yes, I've seen Severance and I've seen Dead and Breakfast. Honestly, I don't remember really being that taken by them, or I probably would have them in my collection and I don't. And I probably saw them when they came out, and I barely remember them. But, yeah. Look at this cat growing himself. He likes his taste. That's Doctor. We did have 4 cats. 2 of them died recently. 9 months apart from each other. They were brothers, and they both had the same disease. But they were both like 12 years old. So, and then we got 2 left. And it's the 2 that we like, kind of like. Well, one of them that just died, Duffy, he was dope. He was like the king of the house. He was the king of the castle, man. He was a cool, big, fluffy. That dude didn't care about him. He was just like so chill. It's a shame. You're damn right, Chase. Savage Harvest is a fantastic, low-budget, shot-on-video horror movie by Eric Stanze. The Scare Game, those early Stanze collaborations with I can't remember the other dude that always AJ Vivone or Vivona or BJ Vivona, I don't know, but those guys made some really special low budget movies back in the day. And then Eric went into a lot of stuff that I just couldn't get into, but those earlier movies, whew, great stuff, especially if you're just starting out and wanting to be a filmmaker and wanting to get into low budget horror and all that stuff. Yeah. But ooh, what y'all feel about Rankin and Bass? You guys know what I'm talking about? I feel like I'm the only person who enjoys Rankin and Bass. I talk about this every Christmas. And I think I'm going to make a video, a fan video about Rankin and Bass for the channel. I just think, I don't understand why they get no love. It might be because like I was so in love with them growing up. Anything like that, the stop motion, animagic, the motion puppetry, and all that stuff. I don't know, but to this day, as a a man in his 40s, I love Rankin Bass. I still watch them every Christmas, as many as I can get. I have a lot of them too. I don't know. I'm going on a Rankin and Bass. You guys probably are like, what the fuck, Rankin and Bass? Mike, I will check that out. And yes, Chase, young Chase, you know the magic of Rankin and Bass? Well, I'm sure because I've been yapping my mouth off about him for a couple of years. If you hear some weird noises, it's my my son is here. He's running around. I don't know what he's doing, but he might pop in, or he might not because he is a youth of today, which means he's got his face in a video game or YouTube or a iPad or something like that, and you don't see them for 24 hours, even though they're living under the roof. That's interesting. Yeah. It's funny. Growing up, well, not growing up, but before I had a kid, I always said, you know what, my kid isn't going to be one of these face in the video games and all that stuff. And sure enough, my kid is that. As is every kid around his age, 11, 12 years old. It's remarkable. I don't know. Why back in my day, in the entirety of the 1980s, all I did was play outside and use my imagination and play with toys and create scenarios and recreate movies outside, and then in '84 I got a video camera, started making movies, and I don't know, kids these days. And I never wanted to be one of those guys either when I got older. Like back in my day, the Dana Carvey old man character from SNL. Okay, Chase. Hey, Chris, what's your screenwriting process out of admiration and curiosity? Well, I'll tell you what. Chase, you're young, you're agile, you're virile, you're full of cream. You have so many years ahead of you, and you have the magic and the lust and the passion that is writing a film ahead of you. It's in front of you. All you got to do is take it. You just do it. Use your imagination to take it. Me at my age, where I am right now, all the things that I've gone through, the stuff that I always go through, writing has become the devil's jockstrap to me. I hate it. It is one of my least favorite things about making movies to this day. Now in my dotage. I used to love it. Now it's like fucking taking a tweezer and pulling tweezers and pulling pubic hair out one at a time. I hate it. To wit, I've been going back and forth with this stupid ass short we've been supposedly going to be pulling off in a couple of days. I don't know, but like I don't know if it's a case now of where after I haven't done it in a while, I get maybe nervous or scared or insecure about being able to do it again. Not really top the last thing that I wrote, but like still be funny and relevant. I don't know. I don't know if all those things kind of come in and I'll sit in front of a computer screen for hours. So, Chase, I mean, my process right now is terrible. But back in the day it was great. I just did it. It just flowed, and I just wrote. And I didn't worry about structure or anything like that. I didn't do that until later, where I would have it turned into what a script is supposed to look like. Because for the most part, I just didn't do that. It was just like, character says this, they do it, facial tick, weird shit, a little of the action, repeat. But I don't know. You just do what you do. Use your process. Don't go off of me. I am right now. I am the worst person to ask about making movies. Being in the spot I'm in. Oh, I've seen The Greasy Strangler, of course. I mean, the company that put The Greasy Strangler out is the company that not hired us to write the script that Clint and I wrote for them because they loved the pitch that we did. And it's been 3 years, something like that, since they've had the script. I don't know. Yeah. But yes, I've seen The Greasy Strangler. Ah, yes. Chris Greenaway is here. He says, huzzah. Chris and Victoria. Chris from over the pond. Chris, hello, greetings, hello. Thank you for popping in. I know it's very late over there. But thanks for just popping in. Mike, what are your thoughts about the found footage horror stuff? I don't have a lot of thoughts about it. I'm not a big fan of it. It's hit and miss, for sure. And then it got to a point where I just stopped watching any of that stuff at all. I just, it just kind of turned me off, and I wasn't really interested in it anymore. There's a couple out there that I enjoy, but for the most part, it's not something I seek, and certainly I don't own. I don't think I own. I maybe own one. I don't know. As Brian, good, Rankin and Bass, another warrior for Rankin and Bass. Yes. They are a Christmas staple for me. And I even like the really weird shit, like Pinocchio's Christmas and Leprechaun's Christmas Gold. Jack Frost, stuff like that. I actually hate Nestor, and I don't like Little Drummer Boy. But I like all the weird shit. Frosty and Rudolph's Shiny New Year. Weird, man. But I love their animated stuff too. Like Frosty is great, and then they went to Animagic with the Frosty stuff, which was awesome. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas is Rankin and Bass animated. It's not the Animagic, but it's just their animated stuff. I love that. Love it. So yeah. Hooray, Brian, Rankin and Bass. Brothers with Rankin and Bass. It's great. Chris, late, but always do my best to get here, dude. Loving the Christmas decor. It looks beautiful. That's, again, Chris, my man, that's just a little bit of it. As I was saying before in the video, we're going to shoot a little of our Christmas party coming up this Saturday, and that stuff will make it into the next episode of Crept. So you'll actually get to see all the Christmas stuff throughout the house. And that next Crept episode will be shot here in the living room over in that area. Because again, the 80s room is not happening right now. Tis a mess. Chris Greenaway asks, what are your thoughts on J.R. Bookwalter announcing that Tempe is shutting down next year? It's an end of an era. I am probably going to do a video on it because, over 10 years of my life, was working for Tempe, making movies for Tempe. So of course I have a lot of history and emotion connected to that whole situation. Um, I will forever be in debt to JR as far as emotions, personal life and history, and what he's done for me personally, and the mentoring that he did. Um, so yeah, I've got some stuff to say about it, but I won't say it right here. Um, Greg, speaking of animated films, do you have any thoughts on Ralph Bakshi's films? Yeah, I love Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice is badass, and I really wish Robert Rodriguez would get to making that live action version, or his basically he wants to take the animated imagery and make it a movie, a live action movie. Basically, what he did with Frank Miller's Pages to make Sin City, he's doing, well, he was doing. He has the rights to Fire and Ice, so I want him to do it. But I love Fire and Ice, yeah. Chris, I saw pics of more and loving it. Looks forward to Crept's next episode. Thank you, Chris. Yes, we will be shooting soon. Chase, Ralph Bakshi, and John Christopher Lucci are two animation gods, in my opinion. Yes, I love John Kay as well, regardless of the controversy that he has found himself in, which made him step away for a while. But I do like John Kay's stuff. Obviously, Ren and Stimpy, but he has a very manic style and vulgar and offensive style, and I like that. It's weird and goofy and creepy and fun at the same time. Greenaway, yes, I agree. Totally agree. I mean, I wouldn't be who I am without JR. Because again, a lot of you folks, I don't know, maybe you do, maybe you don't know, but I saw all this shot on video stuff very early on in the 80s because of our video store, Video Connection. So I was, like I said, 84 was when I got the video camera and started making backyard stuff. And then 85, 86, 87, 88, I just started seeing more and more shot on video stuff because of this amazing video store we had, which fueled everything that I wanted to do. It was just like, these people are doing this with video cameras, I can do it, and I'm still honing the craft. Many people will say, I haven't even reached that. They may be right, they may be wrong, but, JR was a huge part of that inspiration growing up. So, ahoy, hoy. And like I said, don't hate me if I keep promoting the holiday sales, because again, that is helping with my holidays, with part of the Christmas cheer around here, and this special thing I'm trying to do for my wife. And I'm only $500 away from it. Let's see what you got here, Siler. So since you also started filming with your own camera, do you have any advice on how to deal with friends who want to help but also want to take over your story? Well, I mean, if it's yours and your vision, then find some friends who want to put your vision on the screen. Or compromise. I don't know. I've always had I mean, it always starts with me. I know what I want. I write what I want, and then it goes from there. Um, for the most part, we stick to what's in the script, um, but every single person helps make what a Chris Seaver movie is. But I don't think I've ever had anybody sort of say, no, do it this way, and try to take over. Um, but again, I'm very collaborative, and sometimes it might be way better than I thought it was going to be. Um, Certainly with some of the shooting and other technical aspects of making a movie, I have gladly relegated to other people to let them handle it, because I would much rather deal with dialogue, character, and how goofy and weird and funny it's going to be, and let everyone else deal with all the other shit. And for a while it wasn't, because if you old school LVP fans know, I shot everything. So I was doing it all. And then once I got like a dedicated crew to do shit, it freed me up so much to be able to do what I really wanted to do. But I still like go nutso. It's still the end of the world when we're making a movie. I'm still the most stressed out of everybody there, because that isn't their job. They're not actors. They don't, you know, 98% of everybody that you see in my movies are not actors, and they only have done my movies. They only started doing my movies when they were, younger, and they were my buddies. So all the weight and stress and all that crap is on my shoulders. It's not on theirs. They can go home and do what they got to do with their life, and I got to deal with what we just did. So for the most part, I'm not the most fun when we're shooting. It just depends on what we're shooting, when we're shooting it, how we're shooting it, and if things are going how they should, which they never do. Because then I can be a real stress fart when we're shooting. So I don't know. I don't know, man. If that person, if that friend just keeps, doesn't really want to work with what your vision is, then just be like, you know what, don't help me, and I'll get somebody else to help me. I don't know. I've been really lucky. I mean, I guess that's why I've kept the same people for so long. Because they're great, and they're my friends and extended family, and I love them, and we all have a shorthand now. Hello, Celestial. No, as I said, we're gonna be here for a while. We've only been doing this for an hour. I'm gonna be here chugging along. You got questions? Question me. Let's talk. Yeah, I'm sorry, Styler. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, Chris, gonna pop off late, but wanted to jump on and say, hey, we'll watch it back, of course. Talk soon, amigo. Thank you, Chris. Chris and Toria are over there in England, and they are always popping in and talking and awesome and being dope, and they've got a great channel, Chris and Toria. They've got vlogs, and it's just a fun channel, so go check them out. Choach? Are you saying Celestial? Are you saying where is Choach? Uh, uh, Chris Greenaway, is there a genre of movie that you've always wanted to do but haven't gotten around to? Um, I mean, it's always going to be comedy. That's just what it. I mean, that's my forte. Um, the only reason that there's any horror of any kind in my movies is because that's also another passionate genre that I love. I love horror, so I love just mixing the elements of horror and comedy. But make no mistake, and you all know, my stuff is comedy with some horror things here and there. None of them are scary. There's nothing scary about a Chris Seaver film. Well, maybe to some people there is, but because of me, Chris Seaver, I am not liked. But I guess I would love to do a western, a Chris Seaver western. Um, maybe a sci-fi flick, something like that. That would be fun. And Celestial, yes. Choach, yes, Choach. The actor who played Choach, AJ. I mean, he hasn't he moved. He hasn't really been a part of the group, obviously, in years. Probably since 2010. He's, I think he's in Utah or something like that. So no more Choach. And my cousin is Teen Ape. But no, there's never going to be any more Teen Ape movies. There's never going to be any more Bone Jack movies. None of that stuff. Those characters are gone. That is it. They are gone. Nothing. Never again. So. Yeah, Chase, I will never make a drama. Ever. Never, ever, ever. In fact, I don't really watch dramas. I feel like life is drama. You're living it. Why do I want to watch it? Even more than that, why would I want to make it? No thanks. That's not for me. Greg, yes, Billy has been a cowboy. Billy has shot and acted in a few westerns. Because out of the group, Billy was the only other. It was the only actor who ever was an actor and came into the group as an actor. Nobody else was. Yes, Billy is the one who played Deathbone. And actually, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The character of Deathbone may not be dead. So, we'll see. We'll see. Chris, I'd love to see you tackle an 80s kids youth movie like Lucas or License to Drive or an adventure like Cloak and Dagger. Well, yeah, again, I mean, Clint and I wrote a PG-13 Halloween horror kids movie that is sitting in the offices of Spectre Vision right now for years. But we would love to make it. Greg, spill it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if there are any Chris Seaver movies made this year, I mean in 2019, one of them has a good chance of starring the character of Deathbone. That's what I'll say. If anything does happen, I don't know if anything will. So. Celestial, yes. Hey, I get it, and that's why I do these sales. They're normally holiday sales because I need those ducats. because I am truly a starving artist. So we got those crazy fun deals going on, and I'll do it again, folks. If you want to get a collection of Chris Seaver movies going, I've got the holiday deals going on right now, which go directly into me living and being able to have a holly jolly Christmas for my family and help me do something very special that I'm trying to do for my wife because she deserves it. And I'm only $500 away from being able to fully do that. So, if you want to check out a myriad of films that I've done, you can get 6 of my movies for $50, 12 of my movies for $100, 24 of my movies for $200, and 46 of my movies for $300. And each tier above $50 will get you extras, behind the scenes stuff that nobody has seen on DVD, posters, signed scripts, this fun Be a Warlock Warrior certificate of Gorthenticity, posters, The Evil Knight, and Happy Holidays. But we've only got 3 left of those, so that's it. When they're gone, they are gone, and I'm not making any more. Adam, are you a fan of Lars von Trier? No, I'm not. No, I can't do it. Also, are you a fan of the 1984 Xmas TV movie, The Night They Saved Christmas? I'm actually a fan of many Christmas television specials, including that and Smoky Mountain Christmas and A Muppet Family Christmas, which is amazing, bringing all the Jim Henson worlds together. Sesame Street, The Muppets, and Fraggle? What? But no, I'm not a fan of Lars von Trier. Like those, my good friend, dear friend, Alec, who plays Lance in all of our stuff, he loves all that wacky shit, that weird ass, wacky, mind-bending, goofy shit like that. And we like rib on each other all the time for the stuff we like. We go back and forth, but it's fun, and I don't know. But I can't sit there and take it seriously. No. Greg, awesome. Chase, there should be a Seaver comic book or some cool shit like that, a graphic novel. There might be some Sievage character comics coming from a company called Sparkle Comics. Casey and I have also been toying with the idea of doing a Destruction Kings comic book, because he successfully crowdfunded his comic book Hollowed, and he asked if I wanted to do an LBP comic book with all those characters and everything. So that might be something down the road. I don't know. Oh, Celestial, yeah, Barbecue. Yeah, well, I mean, Barbecue, those movies, the specific Warlock home video, like Barbecue, Death o' Lantern, Dingleberries, Happy Holidays, and Stonky Beach, they were made to look like old 80s shot on VHS horror from back then. So there's deliberate bad dialogue, bad editing, bad acting, bad effects, all that stuff. We were going for that vibe, and Barbecue was the first of those. And whew, the Elf Christmas special is good. Charlie Brown is classic, of course. Yes, you're right. I love Charlie Brown. Got any little known 80s Christmas specials? I'm a product of the 90s, so anything before that is lost to me. Well, again, Siler, all those that I mentioned were great 80s specials. Pee-wee's Christmas special is fantastic. Muppet Family Christmas is amazing. Um, yeah, I mean all those that we mentioned. Oh, the Rankin and Bass, but again, that's the Rankin and Bass stuff. It's a particular person, I guess, who really enjoys those. I love them. Um, Rankin and Bass, if you don't know, but you might know because of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, The Year Without a Santa Claus, that stuff. It's animagic. It's stop motion puppetry that you know Rankin and Bass were doing from the '60s, '70s, '80s, and then Rankin and Bass created the Thundercats. So you know the Thundercats. That's animated stuff, but traditional animation. Yes, I have Emmett Otters. We have it in our collection. That is going to be played this Saturday at our Christmas party. I love it. Again, Jim Henson, man. Jim Henson. Jug Band Christmas, bro. Chase, am I a fan of Darren Lynn Bousman? I mean, I like the Saw movies he did. I'm not a big fan of like the horror musicals that he does. That they just don't do it for me. But I certainly think he's talented. But his stuff just isn't for me. Much like Rob Zombie, I think he's a talented guy, but his movies are, to me, his movies are garbage. I don't get anything out of them. They're kind of silly to me. But I think he's very talented. His music for me does it for me way more than any of the movies. But I'm one of those guys who always I root for him. So me personally, I want to be able to come away saying, "Man, that was a great Rob Zombie movie," but I never do. So, truth be told, I enjoy his documentaries more than I like the films. Because, one, I'm a documentary hound. I love the making of films. And I can watch hours and hours and hours of that stuff. And two, it's just interesting to see the making of his films and then what they end up being. So, it's interesting. I like some musicals. I'm not a huge fan of musicals. I'm not Chris Tansky, but I like very specific musicals. So Celestial, my shit must be showing up like 5 minutes after I type it. Well, as I was saying, there's a lag here. Um, it's always with this laptop that I use, so I'm going off this lag. Sorry. Cop rock? No, no cop rock. Yeah, I'm much more of a fan of the more modern musicals, and again, very specific. I'm talking like I love Rocky Horror. I love might be even a light word. I adore Little Shop of Horrors. Certain things like that. I guess there's one movie, I don't know if you can count it a musical, but I always do. Uh, it's called Streets of Fire. It's an early '80s, like '84. Michael Pare, maybe even '83. I think it's '84. But I love it. Diane Lane and Willem Dafoe's first big screen appearance. What are my thoughts on Asian horror films? I like some of them. Some of them I don't. I like a lot of Asian fantasy films. I mean, those guys are wacko. So imaginative, so creative, so wild, crazy. Something to be admired for sure. Um, but the horror stuff, yeah, some of it I like, some of it not so much. I thought it's interesting because I thought America's version of The Ring was scarier than the Japanese version, and I had seen the Japanese version before the Ring, the American one ever came out. Um, but I think the American Grudge is meh, but the Japanese Grudge movie scared the shit out of me. So, yeah, there's that. Oh, well, yeah, I guess Repo Man is sort of a musical, but I get what you mean. I love a lot of Italian horror, Chase. But my favorite Italian horror film is The Beyond by Fulci or Argento's Opera. Those two. Classico. Magnifique. Oh, here. Cat. Mm. Oh, shit. I might have to step away real quick because I really gotta pee. But get those questions lobbed. Give me some more questions. I'll try to think of something when I'm draining the cream dream. Hold on. Alright. Yes, Fulci is amazing. Thank you. Random Sievage voices. Hmm? What? What's this? What are your thoughts on Eli Roth? I mean, I'm not a fan of Hostel, but he seems like a cool dude. Cabin Fever is watchable. Um, um, I don't think much of Eli Roth, and maybe it's probably because like I met him once and he was a douche. Um, he might have changed. When I met him, it was right when Cabin Fever came out, so he might have been kind of had a big head and very egotistical, but he was a douche, and I just was like, okay, I'm turned off by this guy real quick. I'm not really a huge fan of his stuff. I don't own any of it. Um, I think he can be very funny. There's some characters that he's played that I have found to be funny, and that could be an LVP movie. I like that. I am interested to see what he did with an Amblin film because I know he just did The House with the Clock in Its Walls for Spielberg. So I'm interested to see him handle a kids movie. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, the torture horror films are silly. I like, yeah. Truth be told, I enjoy six of the Saw movies, and that's because I actually got very invested in the story that they were telling. Um, the traps to me became secondary. They just that was almost like it became an afterthought for me. I just didn't care. But and then because I just kept finding myself invested in the story, I really needed to stick it out. And I hated Seven, and didn't even bother watching the newer one, the Jigsaw, the one that just came out like a couple of years ago, or I don't know. But I wasn't. Yeah. I like Cronenberg too. Again, not all of his movies, but some of his movies. Of course, The Fly is a fucking classic. Um, I like I like Existenz. Existence. I like that. Some of Scanners I like. Yeah. Celestial, that's right. They are milking that franchise. Saw. I mean, I don't think there's going to be any more. That last Jigsaw movie is really that movie didn't really do anything for Lionsgate like they thought it was going to do. Blumhouse is the new king. Slashers and monster movies. Yes, that's right. You know, the slasher movie, I always depending on the slasher and the type of movie it is, I always find that to be fantastical as well. So that's why I can enjoy them. I find them heightened reality. Um, yes, I love Clive Barker. I think he's brilliant. Um, yes, there you go, Chase. I do. I am a fan of Clive Barker. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, Books of Blood. I used to have there was they were turned into graphic novels, and obviously I liked them more than the books because they were pictures as well. Being a, you know, visual person, I loved that. Um, and his stories, Tapping the Vein, were turned into graphic novels as well, which I enjoyed. I kind of like People Under the Stairs. Um, all right, Celestial, you can check back later. I think I'm gonna be here for another hour, and then I'm gonna split and then get some food going. But yeah, People Under the Stairs is fun. Um, you know, obviously my favorite Wes Craven movie is Nightmare on Elm Street, but I like Deadly Friend. As terrible and cheesy as it is, probably that's why I love it. It's just so dumb. Um, and there's like a series of movies that Wes did like that. The Deadly Friend, Shocker, People Under the Stairs. It was these like they were just they had a different quality to them. Almost like the Carpenter, where um, he did They Live, Prince of Darkness. There was like a series of movies that he did for Universal that also had that same feel, that weird feel. It was still Carpenter, but it felt different from other Carpenter. It was weird. What's going on here? Is this still going? Yep, it's still going. Okay. For some reason this video isn't, so I'm gonna have to see what's going on here. Alright, where'd you guys go? There you are. Okay, Adam, yes, thank you. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for enduring this very mundane live chat. I hope you enjoy the films, and I hope you enjoy the schlock that we all told you about to check out. And, you know, keep checking the channel. Check the sites and everything, and the shows. And if you like the flicks you got, come on back for some more. Because the LBP Warlock sale is going on until December 19th. Right? Yes, cat. I know. These cats are like, they're so hungry. I'll feed them. Act like they're starving. These fat cats. What you guys got going on? They always come in here, they look at me like, feed me? Feed now? Feed please? Hmm? It's like they rely on me for something. So, in regards to your films, would you be opposed to having us remake them in our own version? I'd rather not anybody remake my movies. Nah. I mean, especially if I'm still, like, here doing stuff. I don't know. It just seems weird to me. Even though I've remade a low-budget filmmaker's film, but I was asked, and I have a history with that filmmaker, and it was a full circle type of thing, and it worked out great. But, nah. You know, maybe if I were in my 60s and someone was like, hey, I want to remake, you know, Scrotal Vengeance. Maybe I would be like, I gotta see this. I gotta see what this guy's gonna do, you know. But no, not right now. You got some. Use your creativity. Use your imagination. Create the Siler legacy. You know, create what is you and what you want to do, and your stories, and you know what's gonna make you unique and all that good stuff. Man, can you guys smell that? "'Tis the Christmas spirit trying to enter my jovial nips." Because we have a real tree, every now and again I get a whiff of pine. Pine, you killed my pine! Pine comes in. Yeah. Chase asks, what would you do if Peter Jackson came to your house, Chris? I don't know. It'd be rad. I'd be like, yo, dude, let's rap, let's geek out. I would rather go to his house. I know what his house looks like. I've seen his collections. I would rather go there. I want to go to New Zealand. I want to go to New Zealand anyway. I would love to visit Hobbiton because they kept it up. So it's now a tourist attraction, so you can go to Hobbiton, and I want to go there. I want to visit Wingnut Films. I want to do all that. Weta Digital. I want to go there. But yeah, I love Peter Jackson. I'd get him a garbage plate if he came here, which is a Rochester classic food. Style of legacy. That sucks about the trees not lasting long. Actually, like, I mean, last year's trees didn't. There was something going on with the trees here last year. And we made it like halfway through December before we had to toss the real tree and put up a fake one. Because the real one, like, died quick and it was just dropping deuces all over the place. Ah, David Hess. David Hess, happy holidays to you, David. I haven't seen nor heard you from you for many a moon. What's good? Talk to me. Stick around. Watch the video. Talk to me. I heard the skeleton they used in the OG Star Wars is still out there, and I want to find it. Oh yeah. What you doing? What you doing, cat? I ain't food. I'll get you food when I'm done. Can't you see? I am talking to the people. They want to talk to me. They don't want to talk to you. Yeah, don't you give me that look. Hey. Greg, speaking of New Zealand, have you seen the 2006 film Black Sheep? Yep. Yeah. It was fine. Yeah. To me, it might be like a dumb thing to say, but it's just my opinion. But every horror from New Zealand that has come after the Peter Jackson horror just hasn't struck me. And Peter did it better. So that's just me. John, hello. You're not late. You're right here. I'm talking to you. Talk to me. I'm here. I'm here for you. Come on, I'm here for you. This gerrymandering. It's crazy. I'm going to be here for another hour, you know? So. Ah, thank you. Thank you, David. I'm glad you're a Seaver fan for life. Let's hope my wife is, too. Chase, what was your opinion on the remake with Jessica Biel? The remake of Texas Chainsaw, I actually liked it. Truth be told, and this is probably going to shock everybody who watches this video, but I am not a giant Texas Chainsaw fan. I think the first film is kind of meh. And I did see it early on, and it didn't do anything for me. Now the second Tobe Hooper Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, that's the one I love. I love that movie. And you can see why. It's goofy, it's over the top, it's silly. They took a comedy route with it. It's still weird and disturbing, and it's got some fucked up shit in it, but that's more my sensibilities. The remake with Jessica Biel, I did like. I didn't hate it. I didn't mind it. You know? Siler, yes, New Zealand, yes, to have all that horror come out of New Zealand. It's such a nice, beautiful, agreeable place. David, yes, I agree. He was great in Texas Chainsaw. Some would say he made that film. Not made it, but he made it, you know. The reason people like it is because of him. This is good. I love this communication. Talk to me. That's what Q&As are all about. Is it almost time for me to promote again? Feed me, asshole. I'm gonna eat myself. Do I have any movie props from movies that I didn't make? I mean, I've got like replicas and stuff, and statues and masks and all that stuff. Um, Nothing specifically that was like this was used in the film and I have it. I certainly want things like that. But that stuff's expensive and I don't have that kind of money, but I would love it. That particular cat's name is Doctor. Chase, yes, I've seen Faces of Death and I don't care. That stuff is so stupid. In general, just so all you folks know, the people watching live and the people who are watching after, I am not a fan whatsoever of real death, death in general, watching somebody die. That's not something I get enjoyment out of. I'm not curious about it. I don't like it. I've seen it. It's not fun material to watch. So no, I am not a purveyor or fan of that particular material or genre of film. So David, Chris, any news on the release of Death Atlanta remake? You did a year or two. It was over 2 years ago. Earlier in the live stream, I talked a little bit about it, but yes. So it is coming. It has been. Clint did an edit. I wrote down all the tweaks that it needed. Clint went and retweaked it. And again, the reason I didn't edit it was because my computer could not handle the footage that we shot because it was with some kick-ass cameras, and my puny-ass computer just couldn't do it. So that's why I entrusted Clint to edit, but that is also why it's taken over 2 years. But anyway, a rough draft is made, a final draft is made, on final meaning everything but the visual effects are done, and now we're just waiting on 4 visual effects shots to be put back in the film from the guy who's doing the visual effects. So it's coming. It'll get there. John, I do not watch Z Nation. I tried it and I just couldn't get. I think the shoddy sci-fi production values sci-fi channel production values just turned me off. It just felt like I was watching an Asylum movie but a TV show. I couldn't get behind it. David, you're never late to the party. You arrive exactly when you mean to. So, I mean, it's promotion time again, guys. So, you folks out there, if you've ever been curious or you want to jump on the Chris Seaver filmmaking bandwagon, do yourself a mitzvah and take advantage of the holiday sales we got going on right now. I am the filmmaker, so the money is going directly to me, helping me with a lot of the issues that are going on right now in my life. It's helping me have a holly jolly Christmas for my family, and it's helping me do this very special thing that I'm trying to do for my wife. And I'm only $500 away from being able to fully pull it off, which is something I've never pulled off before in my life, ever, for me, for a family member, anything. So I've got a deal going on right now. Just contact me at warlockhomevideo@gmail.com. for more info and the list of films that I've made that you can get from me. But if you get 6 movies, it's only $50. If you get 12 movies, it's $100. If you get 24 movies, it's $200. And if you get 46 movies of mine, it's $300. And that's shipped, folks. And then with each tier, after $50, you get some free stuff, free extra goodies. Like I've got a bunch of documentaries and fun videos about my films or the making of my films or things like that that nobody has seen. And I have been putting those in the packages. I've been putting posters, like, I've done this a million times. I'm sorry, folks, but this is how I can make money. My brothers, this is how I do it. Evil Night, Happy Holidays, and I've only got 3 posters left anyway, and then the fun Warlock Certificate of Gore-Authenticity. You're a Warlock warrior. Your name goes there. That's you. You can frame it. And I also have signed scripts and things of that nature. So get at me if you want to support what I do and support indie filmmaking and my Christmas shopping for my family and the big thing that I want to do. So let's get back on this here. Brian Short, you had a message retracted. John, is Bennett in the chat? Bennett is Brandon Bennett. I don't think Brandon is here. Brian, I notice you have a lot of Star Wars collectibles. What's your favorite character? Yes, I do have a lot of Star Wars collectibles. And Star Wars is a huge, huge part of my life, huge part of my family. This is a house full of nerds. And we have stuff all over the place that's Star Wars. But my favorite Star Wars character is, in fact, Luke Skywalker. Speaking of Star Wars, I'm trying to recollect all of the Return of the Jedi figures and vehicles that I had growing up, and I'm trying to recollect them. So if there's people out there who, may not have the money but have some Star Wars stuff that I want to get rid of and want to trade for movies, I'll do that too, because I would love to get back all those specific Return of the Jedi things that I had, both carded and loose, complete. But anyway, yes, Luke Skywalker is my favorite character in the Star Wars universe. David, I love watching all the behind-the-scenes stuff on your films. Thank you. It's fun. As a person who loves documentaries, of films and whatnot, I love being able to give the fans a glimpse of what it is actually like to shoot a Chris Seaver movie. So, yeah. Silent Legacy. Welp, I gotta go, but I love you, Chris. Hope you get more Christmas spirit as the month goes on. See you on the other side. Thank you, Silent Legacy. Thank you for coming and talking with us. You are always here for the chats, and that's awesome. And I'm glad you're still enjoying the channel and enjoy my crappy films. And thank you for talking. Man, those cats are causing some ruckus. I actually said something there. Greg, do I have any go-to Christmas songs? Yes, I do. As I said in the last episode of Crept from the 80s with Tansky, our first Christmas episode of the season, I love the Bing Crosby, I believe it's Anderson Sisters, Jingle Bells. I love a lot of 40s Christmas songs, 40s and 50s Christmas songs. I love the Elvis Christmas songs. I love Billy Squires' Christmas is the Time to Say I Love You. That's a modern song, 80s. I love the 80s Bryan Adams Reggae Christmas, which is whew, so beautifully cheesy and terrible, but I've always loved it. And that's a year-round song for us around the Seepage compound and the gang and everything. That's an inside love for that crappy song. I love the Ramones. Merry Christmas, I Don't Want to Fight Tonight. Yeah. Oh yeah, I like the Chipmunks Christmas song as well, David. Yes, Greg. Hey man, having a reggae Christmas. The Andrews Sisters is the best Christmas album. Yes, that's John. That's it. The Andrews Sisters, not the Anderson Sisters, but yes, that Bing Crosby. Their Christmas songs are. David, what was the hardest film to make? What was the easiest? The hardest film to make was, without a doubt, the Trauma movie that we made in 2009 for Trauma. Hardest, shittiest, most terrible, epically disastrous time ever making a film. The easiest is anytime we do like a short, like any of the silly shorts that we do. And when we were doing the shot on video Warlock stuff, the stuff to emulate the early shot on video 80s stuff, that stuff is a breeze. It's so fun. It's, because we're deliberately going for a style like that, you can keep the mess ups in, you can keep the things falling over or the bad effects and all that stuff. That stuff is a breeze and it's just so much fun to do. And then the shorts, yeah. Am I having a reggae Christmas? Merry Christmas and a reggae New Year to you. Do yourself a favor, folks. Bryan Adams, Reggae Christmas. Add it to your rotation. You'll thank me. And then in 2014, I actually really love the Real Big Fish Christmas album that they did. Their version of Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer. Whew! I mean, I'm a, ska fan going on fucking, 28 years. Christmas and ska, give it to me. MU330 did a whole Christmas album too. What do we got going on here? Celestial, you're back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Who do you think you are? I'm back. David, I know you mentioned you had some issues with trauma before in the past. I was wondering if you could talk about it. If you can't, it's all right. I think, David, either you or many other people have always tried to get the story out of me. And listen, I'm not... It was 2009, so it was like almost 10 years ago, basically. So yes, I don't have the resentment or the bitterness that I did when it was happening. I'm not going to go super into detail about it, but it was a 10-year relationship that I had with those guys, and then ruined like that because of pure insanity on their part. And that's all I'm going to say. Just, you've heard stories about trauma. Well, they're real. It's something. Listen, I'm always going to love the trauma that I have always loved, just because of that sour situation. I don't like them now, and I don't support what they do now, but I'm not going to stop loving the things that I loved growing up with trauma, So I still love The Toxic Avenger. I still love Class of Nukem High. So, that's still there. Right, Doctor? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, he knows. So we got about another half hour. About another half hour before I bust a loaf and jump on off of this. Now, Have I promoted the LVP Warlock sale? What's next, folks? Anything else? Anything? What are you guys looking forward to for Christmas? Is there anything on your wish lists? Best Christmas cookie? I'll be judged. Well, I'm a very traditional kind of guy, so I like straight up sugar cookies. You know, the cut out sugar cookies, soft with frosting on them, be it Santa hats or Christmas trees or, you know, candy canes in the shape. Traditional Christmas sugar cookies, as long as they're soft. Celestial Trauma was the best in the 80s. Although I will say I love Terra Firma. That was 1998. 1998. It was shot in 98. 99 came out, whatever. But and that's when I sort of joined forces with them right after Terra Firma was coming out. But I still like that movie. Celestial, a Christmas threesome? I would love a Christmas threesome, definitely. Is that what you're looking forward to? You know, gotta get my wife on board with those threesomes, man. Your messages are late. All right. I don't know. Are everybody's messages late? I don't know. Zach! Hello, Chris, he says. How did you meet all the LVP Warlock team of actors? Okay, this is good. Okay, I'm gonna answer that, Zach. Let me get to Greg's. Greg was, what would be the best present you could think of that you would want under the Christmas tree this year? Honestly, I gotta tell you, I love getting Christmas presents. I love it. But I love giving Christmas presents even more. Like I said, Christmas is the time to go balls deep in this household. It's the one time where we can spend as much money as we can, are able to shower gifts upon the people we love. So if I could have any Christmas gift this year, it would be able to pull off the thing that I want to do for my wife. And I'm only $500 being able to do it. And that's why I'm pushing my sales so much. If I were super selfish and going strictly for me, what would I want under the tree? Probably anything from the Star Wars Return of the Jedi line that I had when I was growing up, to in package, in box, still, you know, things of that nature. Because I certainly I love getting movies, of course. I love growing my movie collection and love masks and things like that, and the 80s stuff. But Star Wars is so special to me, and Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie. And out of all the Star Wars toys I had growing up, I mean, I certainly had toys from Empire Strikes Back and everything, but it was the Return of the Jedi line that I just went gaga for, and I had almost every figure and vehicle from that line. And, you know, through time, shit happens. You lose it, you break it, it's gone, it's thrown away. Some of the stuff I ended up giving to my son when he was young, and then he broke. But now I just want it back. But anyway, so that was that. Now Zach, let me get to Zach. Celestial, what mask do I have? what masks do I have? I've got They Live. I've got a mask from the movie House. I've got a bunch of different Creature from the Black Lagoon stuff. I've got a critter from the movie Critters, which I love. Frankenstein, stuff like that. But 1985's Mask, the toys I have in the 80s room that I have recollected from my childhood. Okay, so 90210 in the building. Hello, holy shit! I haven't heard from you in a long time. Celestial, I have shown that shit. There are videos where I've shown that shit. But yes, you are correct. Don't worry. After Christmas, I am going to do a brand new house tour of everything geeky in the house. So, that is coming. Now, Zach, let me get back to you. Okay. Hey, Chris, how did you meet all of the LBP Warlock team of actors? Whew. So, boy. Okay, so some of them were friends of friends who I ended up showing some of the early movies to, and I pulled them into the fray. Some of them were fans of my films, and I ended up meeting a lot of them at different conventions throughout the country. And they would show up almost at every show we were going to, and they'd buy stuff from us, and they would, offer their services to do anything, to help us at the table, to help us with promotion, whatever. And then some of them, I was just like, well, you've been doing this off and on for so long with us and corresponding with us for so long. Do you want to come and be a part of this particular film? They would say yes. They'd come do it. They'd have a great time, and then it just became a thing, and they rolled right into the family. Some of them were auditions, because very early on we did auditions, which is ridiculous. I actually have some of that footage on VHS. Some of them, in the very early stages of LBP, were already my friends to begin with. Like, I went to school with a lot of them. And that group maybe were with me for, 5, 6, 7 years of the group, and then they went off. And then I got a new group. But I've had the same group of people with me since 2002. And there was a group before that, but they left, and only a couple of those straggled on until they left. But yeah, and then the Warlock group of people that I brought in, they've been here since 2011. So yeah, just different. Again, like, none of them are actors. There was only one actor, and that was Billy Garbarina. He's from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and that was through a friend of a friend who was a fan of my stuff, showed my stuff to Billy. Billy wanted to work with me, and then a couple years later, after talking with him initially, we ended up working together. So, and then Billy became a part of the family. So, and that was in 2007, 2006, something like that. But the rest are just hams. They're just people who love making these movies with me, and only started making these movies with me, and are very loyal and awesome human beings, and I love them. They are my family. They are my extended family. I couldn't do any of this stuff without them. So I hope that answers a little bit, and I'm sure when you and I hang out, Zach, I'll answer tons of more stuff for you, and we'll chat, and we'll rap about all that stuff. New job, bro. Busy boy. Okay. New job. Thank you, NJ. Celestial. Missed it. Sorry. Don't be sorry. It's okay. As far as the videos are concerned, but there will be new house stuff for you to enjoy, Celestial. David, other than the Death of Lantern remake, any new projects from Warlock in the pipeline? Well, so there's a script that Clint and I wrote 3 years ago that I am sad about because I don't know if that's ever going to get made, but I really want it to. Um, there's a Christmas short that I'm shooting in 2 days or 3 days or something like that. That's gonna be a piece of shit, just like Stoinkmere Before Christmas and 'Twas the Funk Before Christmas. So we got that, but that's not anything major at all. There's there's things, there's stuff that I have written down. There's some treatments that are written. There's 3 other projects that I want to do. Um, I just don't know if they're ever going to get done. I don't know if it's going to happen. I hate crowdfunding. I think it's a. I don't. One, we never have any luck with it, and two, it's just a weird feeling to me. So we don't really crowdfund. I guess if we did a shit ton of conventions and was able to raise the money that way for some of these movies, we would do it. It's just it's money, and do we want to put all this time into something that may not really go anywhere? And at this point in my career, it's like, after everything that I've done, the amount of movies that I've made, all the shit that I've been through, all the stuff that we sort of continue to go through that is adjacent to the career, it's kind of like, is it going to be worth it to put yourself out there again when the possibility of the same old happening happens? It's just like, I don't know. I talked about something earlier with the character of Deathbone that, we're marinating. There's something there that could happen. There's something there. There's 2 other things that have been sort of planned and written out that were right after the script that Clint and I wrote that I haven't let go of, and that I still think are viable and fun ideas that I would like to tackle. But I don't know, man. I don't know. As you've seen, as you know, I go back and forth on, should I keep doing this? Is it worth it? And, well, I have to, because it's all I know. It's a passion that's in me, regardless of the trials and tribulations. And, I mean, then you think of Stan Lee not creating Spider-Man until he was 40, So it's like, I'm in my 40s, and I shouldn't have that mentality of it's too late, but I don't know. Greg, is there a significance to the Toblerone chocolate that is mentioned? Tasty treat. There's not much significance at all to most of any of those weird things that are mentioned in my films, like Passion Flakies and Toblerone and things like that, Stamos and whatnot. Other than we like them. They have funny names. I enjoy the taste. It just adds an extra layer of oddness and fun to the films, I guess. So, David, your Christmas shorts are classic. What you talking about? Well, they're crap. I mean, we know what we're doing. We know we're making, turds when we do it. They take me about 10 pages, and we shoot for like 3 hours in a day, and then we have a short. Dumb fun. And the one we're doing is called A Stoinkmere Before Christmas 2, TOO. So it's essentially the same thing again, but with different people. So we'll see how that turns out. Jay Gross, thank you. Never too late to do what you love, man. Well, I'm trying to hang on to that mentality and that message. We'll see. you know, it's tough to say. It's tough to say to people, and it's tough for people to understand unless they've walked in my shoes. So I have a love-hate relationship for the things that I've done. But I love that there's fans out there who still enjoy it and want me to continue. I mean, that certainly lights a fire, for sure. Henry Lee Summer wants you to make movies so more people can enjoy his music. I agree. I think he's secretly sending us waves with his crack magic. Saying, please, man, ow, please. Wish I had another LBP to play Wish I Had Another Girl. Wish I had that girl. Wish I had that girl. Yeah. David, I know you operate in a niche, but even ever thought about making something more conventional? Or is it something you just aren't interested in? David, I mean, truth be told, listen, I'm never going to make anything that is so white bread mainstream that you wouldn't even recognize it being a Chris Seaver movie. But I've written scripts that are as mainstream as I'm going to get, but still have the mentality of a Chris Seaver film. We've been so close 2 to 3 different times with working for an actual company. But we have something around here that the gang and I and my family call the Seaver curse. And it's not a joke. There is a curse surrounding me that just helps to make my life depressing now and again. And this curse is not a joke. This curse is real. This curse happens. And this curse has been following me since I've started making movies in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. So, I don't know. You'll think it's silly, but believe me, if there's ever a documentary about Chris Seaver and LBP, the Seaver curse will be brought up by probably everybody that is interviewed. Because it's real. Celestial, the fact is your name and work is out there, and that's forever. Better or for worse, I would agree. Some things I wish weren't out there, and then other things I wish people actually could see that we're proud of, and are not. It's not out there. But there's things out there that people have seen that I enjoy. Yes, but I certainly don't take it all for granted. Of course I don't. But again, I wish people could have walked in the shoes that I've walked and know sort of what I've been through. Because it's easy to sit there and look at me who's poo-pooing and down on a lot of my situation and the situation that I've had in the past, and to say, well, no, you've done what you've done what you wanted to do, and you followed your dreams, and blah, 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 blah. And I get that. I totally get that, and in that aspect, you are correct. I have done what I've always wanted to do since I was 7 years old. Since 1984. I have done what I've wanted to do. That is a very amazing and encouraging thing, for sure. And I've done some things in my life that I am still dumbfounded and shocked and amazed that I have done, and worked with the people that I've worked with, and all that stuff. But then there's the other side of things. And then there's the Seaver curse. Let's just put it at that. Well, Celestial, it wouldn't be a mockumentary. And truth be told, there's been 3 attempts to make an LBP documentary. A full-fledged history of everything documentary, the rise and fall of LBP. And if it's gonna get done, obviously there would be comedy in it because of who it's the whole thing is about. But I would want it to be serious. I want it to be taken serious because I think the people who have helped me create this world deserve it. I think they deserve any accolades and attention and love and anything that they would get because of what they've done for me as a group of humans. Um, you know, I mean, I've said it over and over for years. I mean, I love that group of people. They are amazing. Yes, well, me too, David. I would do it as well if something like that ever happened. You know, if there was ever a definitive documentary about this whole thing, you know. The biggest little low budget company that nobody's ever heard of. You know, micro budget, if you will. Celestial. I have friends come over and watch your movies, and when it's over, they are like, "What the fuck did I watch?" And I'm laughing because they are confused. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you fans know. You either like it or you don't. There's not a lot of in between. I'm not. I know what I make. I know exactly what it is. We aren't trying to be anything that we're not. Uh, we just happen to find it funny. Not everyone's gonna. But I'm thankful and mucho appreciate. I appreciate everybody who gets it. You know, it's a great army to have by your side. A bunch of knuckle knobs. Greg, of all your movies that I've seen so far, I have to say Moist Fury is probably my favorite, along with Sex Squatch and Film Crew. Did you end up liking any of these films? I didn't like Moist Fury. I liked my initial concept and what we were trying to go for, but in the end, I didn't like how it was shot. But that's my fault. Again, because up until 2011, I shot every one of my films. Um, oh no, I didn't shoot. I didn't shoot Terror Blood Fart Lake, and that was 2008. I didn't shoot Blood Fart Lake. Um, but Moist Fury, I didn't really end up liking the final version. Sex Squatch and Film Crew, I love. Absolutely. But I'm glad you love it. That's awesome. The Seaver Misfit Army, that's right. The Warriors of Christmas, as I used to call us. We were the Warriors of Christmas, regardless of Christmas, regardless of the season. We were the Warriors of Christmas. Um, oh, you still love Film Crew. That's great. I love Film Crew. Film Crew was a movie that we shot in a total of 16 hours. And that's one of the movies that we don't really remember making because it was so fast, and because it was at night after the theater was closed. Um, but yeah, I mean, I love it. I still love it. I think it's fun. If I had the means, I might remake it with better equipment, a little more time. Um, Same people. Celestial, would I direct a Star Wars movie? Absolutely not. Nope. It's not in me. I can't. I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't even know the. It's not my wheelhouse. It doesn't matter that I love Star Wars. You know, science fiction, fantasy, horror, all that stuff. I know what my strengths are, and that's what I can do. I'd be lost. I'd be terrified. There's no way in hell. Even if I were like offered millions and millions of dollars, I'd be like, no, sorry, I am not making a Star Wars film. Now, would I make a Chris Seaver, sci-fi comedy that's similar? Certainly, certainly. Jay Gross, totally changing gears. Favorite, most interesting flicks you've seen this year? Well, my favorite movie of the year so far, and the year's almost over, but my favorite movie has been Infinity War, hands down. Absolutely loved it. Love it still. Think it's phenomenal. I have never, ever, ever seen anything like that. And that's easy to, that's like, what? Pfft, come on. In this day and age where you've seen everything, the imagery, the stuff that I was seeing, being a Marvel fan, being a comic book fan, blew me away. I was giddy with excitement, laughing because I was so in awe of what I was seeing. I was just blown the fuck away. Loved it. I'd really have to think. Yeah, I'd have to think. I know there's a couple others that I was like, man, that was fantastic. But favorite of the year for sure, hands down, is Infinity War. I want to see Bohemian Rhapsody. I liked Wreck-It Ralph 2. I like Ralph Breaks the Internet. It was okay. I liked the first one better. It was alright. I've seen a lot of movies this year, but it's putting me on the spot. I'd have to really think about that. But favorite is Infinity War, for sure. Greg, what are your true feelings about the Star Wars Holiday Special? Listen, I have it. I've actually seen it several times. I don't particularly like it, but I appreciate the cheese of it. Truth be told, if I do watch it, I skip all the fucking lumpy shit because it's literally just Wookiees talking to each other for what seems like an hour. But it's not. Celestial, could I do better than Rian Johnson? Nope. No, I couldn't. A Chris Seaver Star Wars riff would be amazing. Well, see, yeah, I wouldn't actually like riff Star Wars, I guess, because Mel Brooks did it so beautifully with Spaceballs. So I don't think I would like directly riff Star Wars. But if you mean by my version of a sci-fi epic, that would be interesting. It would be something. Yeah, I'd need some money. Yes, Celestial, I know that it's canon. Yes. Jay Gross, did you see Summer of '84? I have not. I heard mixed reviews about it, but I do want to check it out. It's tough. It's tough. Sometimes I have because I grew up in the '80s, and my childhood was the entirety of the '80s. I know the '80s. And if I see something that is supposed to be 80s and it doesn't sit well with me, then I feel like, well, they didn't pull it off. They tried, but they didn't pull it off. So that stuff is tricky, and there's a lot of that stuff out there. So I don't know, but I do want to check it out and see for myself. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, I'll do about 15 minutes more, and then I gotta split. Still haven't made dinner for me and my boy. Jay Gross, Mandy. I didn't like Mandy. My wife and I watched Mandy. Didn't like it at all. Actually, there was like maybe 2 parts that we laughed at, and we love Nick Cage. But no, it just wasn't for me. I would rather see a movie about the Cheddar Goblin than watch Mandy ever again. So, what's for dinner? Oh well, we're making some homemade pizza out of naan bread. It's delicious, actually. Yes, Celestial, it is. Cyndi Lauper's True Colors is an awesome song. I would agree with you. It's great. Cyndi Lauper is great in general. That whole album. Whew! You're so unusual. My God. Is that Jailhouse Pizza naan bread? We just actually really like naan bread, and we were tinkering around a couple years ago with. We're just like, well, I have some naan bread. I've got some cheese. I've got some sauce. I've got some pepperoni. Let's see. So I did it. Throw it in the oven for like 2 minutes. Skabam! It's a delicious little homemade, healthy pizza. Yes, Celestial. It certainly is 80s. Cyndi Lauper. I like a few things from the 90s. Early 90s. As I've said before. Early 90s. My cutoff point is like 95, 94. And then the 90s get real shitty. And then it's been shitty ever since. Just give me back my 80s, please. I live it as much as possible. Greg, have you seen The Ballad of Buster Scruggs on Netflix yet? I have not. I might watch it. I'm not a giant fan of the Coen brothers. I like a couple of their films. I certainly like how loopy and crazy and wacky they can get. I appreciate that. But I will give this a shot. I know it's an anthology. It's a bunch of different stories. Um, David, of course. Are you kidding me? Dinosaurs! Dinosaurs! Yes, I know dinosaurs. I loved it. I wish they made the toys readily available, but they didn't. They only made like it was like a foreign, small, it was like a short line of the figures. Yes, dinosaurs was dope. And of course, Denver the Last Dinosaur. I mean, Denver is a staple of my Saturday morning sleepovers. An episode is always in the mix. I love Denver. I've got Denver the Last Dinosaur shirt and art hanging up on the wall in the 80s room. That's right. Street Sharks, nope. Again, yeah, it was like 90s. I'm sorry. Truth be told, there's a lot of that 90s shit that I find total garbage. And it's not really because, oh, well, my age, I was a freaking, senior in high school or whatever. That doesn't do it because I'm a 41-year-old man who, loves childish shit. Denver the Last Dinosaur. It's just certain things in the 90s that the aesthetic, it just didn't appeal to me. It was just like, for the most part, a lot of those cartoons and a lot of the toy lines were just pure garbage. So, but that's me. Denver used to make you cry. Celestial, remember the guys that got wet and turned into a car? Yeah, man, that's Turbo Teen. That was the 80s. I have that cartoon. It's a great cartoon. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. And it's the magic of Hanna-Barbera. I love Hanna-Barbera. David, I've talked about this many a time before, but what got me into filmmaking was Nightmare on Elm Street. My mom took me to see it. It was 1984. Took me to see it. I said, I want to do that. I was 7 years old. Our family got a video camera for Christmas. Started from there. I've said this before as well. I'm not sure why everything that I had seen up until Nightmare on Elm Street didn't want to make me be a filmmaker, because I was a Star Wars kid. I loved Star Wars. I loved the Muppets. I loved all that shit. Back to the Future. All of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. That fantasy, fun, adventure, Ghostbusters. That type of stuff I was watching. I was soaking up as a kid. I mean, Back to the Future was 85, but I'm saying that stuff. You know, Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom was giant for me. But why was Nightmare on Elm Street the thing that was like, I want to do this? I don't know. I can't say. Scrappy Doo for me did not ruin the Scooby Doo stuff. Yes, Celestial, Johnny Depp was in Nightmare on Elm Street. um, I mean, you know, Scooby Dum, Scrappy Doo, all that stuff. But I love Hanna Barbera. It doesn't matter. You know, I think I just that was my shit. I to this day, I don't really like. I was never a huge Looney Tunes fan at all. They didn't do it for me, but Hanna Barbera did. Wes does it? I don't know. I did that. Are you? I mean, I'm sure like a lot of people saw that and wanted to be filmmakers as well. I mean, maybe I don't know. As I said earlier, I'm not like the giant Wes Craven fan. There's a handful of movies that I like of his, but Nightmare is my favorite. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was. Tis a mystery. Yeah, the Vincent Price Scooby. Well, any of that stuff. Anytime Scooby Doo did their movies, you know, and had the special guest stars and everything, that was awesome. That stuff was so cool, and it's all available on DVD. Man, this is good. I don't want to stop at 8:15, but I'm going to. But we'll have to, you know, bring on the next live chat. I need to do them more often, but I really appreciate the people that do come by and chat with me. Greg, do I remember the new Shmoo? What is the new Shmoo? Do you remember Pepperidge Farm? Because Pepperidge Farm remembers. What's my kid doing? You can hear him up there. I think he's yelling at a friend as he's playing a game. They must be rocking Fortnite or something like that. David, did I watch Gem and the Hologram? Oh, the film? No, no, absolutely not. I won't. Jay Gross, do I remember the Fred Savage thing with the dinosaurs? I don't remember any Fred Savage dinosaurs thing. I remember dinosaurs in the early 90s. I remember Fred Savage in The Wizard and vice versa and Wonder Years and my favorite, Little Monsters, but I don't remember Fred Savage with the dinosaurs. I don't remember that. Greg, the new Shmoo was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon? When was the new Shmoo? I gotta get on that. Jay Gross, I had it on VHS. Fred Savage and the Dinosaurs. Huh. I don't know. Celestial, my favorite sitcom in the 80s. I have too many, but I will say this: my favorite sitcoms of the 1980s: Facts of Life, Different Strokes, Mr. Belvedere, um, Growing Pains, Who's the Boss. I think those are my favorites. But I also loved Just the Ten of Us. I loved Head of the Class. I loved Valerie's Family, which became Hogan Family. Um, Perfect Strangers. Family Ties. Did I say Family Ties? Woo! Family Ties. Wonder Years. All that shit, man. That's right, man. Streaks on the china. Never married her before. Who cares? When you drop the kick your jacket. As you came through the door. No one cares. Oh, David, if I'm stuck on an island and can only bring 3 80s films, perish the thought. Ah, fudge. I don't know if I could answer that. Back to the Future. 16 Candles. Fright Night. But there's so many I want to bring. I wasn't a huge Fat Albert guy. Celestial. But I like the Yogi Bear Christmas special. Yogi's First Christmas. Pee-wee's Christmas special. One more time, 5 more minutes. This was fun, guys. Thank you. We gotta feed the cats too. Gotta feed ourselves and feed the cats. My wife works very late. She's a pharmacist. I mean, she works like 13 hours a day, so she gets home late. Jamming on any newish bands, albums. I love the Interrupters. They're an amazing punk ska band. The last like 4 years, 4 or 5 years they've been around. I love them. I love the band Chromeo. Their new album was good. Real Big Fish is about to release their new album after like 6 years of waiting. Celestial. Love Lost Boys. Love Young Guns. Love Young Guns 2. Those Young Guns movies, I just showed my wife Young Guns 1. And she liked it. But I think she'll like Young Guns 2 more. But I love those movies. Man, when those movies came out, well, the first one was 88, the second one was 90. When those movies came out, I was obsessed with those movies. I had their posters on my walls. I made my own Young Guns movie, but it was comedy and goofy, of course. And I still have footage of that, which you will never see. Yes, Weird Science is amazing. I love Weird Science. You see the size of that goddamn cockadoodle goddamn do? Hey dog, you see the size of that chicken? Yeah. Mexican Indian, you son of a bitch. Well, geez guys, this is fun. I wish I didn't have to stop, but I do. I gotta make some food for my child. And cats, but so I'm gonna end with a promotion and a thank you. So please, folks, if you're watching if you weren't here for the live show and you're watching and you can stand the promotion, honestly, this is helping the filmmaker, right? I mean, this is me, the guy who makes the films. You get directly from me. I'm having a holiday sale. It's going till December 19th. This is helping me with some issues I am having with Christmas and with this thing that I am trying to do for my wife. I just don't want to say what it is because I don't want any sort of, I don't want her to be able to see it or anything like that. That's why I'm not saying it. But like I said, I'm $500 away from being able to do this amazing special thing for her. I've wanted to do it for a long time and I'm almost there. But you can, if you want to go to warlockhomevideo@gmail.com, get a hold of me for a list of all the movies you can get. I have a deal where you can get 6 movies for $50, 12 movies $100, 24 movies for $200, 46 movies for $300. You get extras, you get posters, you get goodies, all that good stuff. Please get a hold of me. I'm running the special until December 19th, because then it's going to take a little time to be able to ship that out to you guys before Christmas. And I want you to have your LBP and your Warlock before Christmas. So get a hold of me if you're interested at all. If you want to see what my films are all about. Ooh, Greg, thank you. You're saving up for Bundle 3. Well, it is much appreciated. Believe me, absolutely much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Celestial, thumbs up, thumbs up. Happy holidays to you and your family. Thank you, David. Well, happy holidays to you as well. And just thank you for all of you guys who popped on, who talked with me. I really loved it, and I love doing the Q&As. It's so much fun. Rewatch it. Let me know what your Christmas wishes are. I have Christmas wish lists as well. I happen to have a Star Wars vintage toy wish list on Amazon amongst an 80s and 90s wish list and all this other crazy stuff. But let me know what you guys want for Christmas. Tell me, do you guys still get Christmas presents? Do you guys go balls deep during Christmas for friends, family, acquaintances? Let me know. Talk down into the comments. What are your favorite Christmas wishes? Do you cream of me? I know I do. And I wish my wife would. But anyway, thanks guys. Thanks for stopping by. We'll let you know when we're going to do another live show. And we've got some new Crept from the 80s episodes coming up, Christmas themed. And we'll see you next time. So thank you everyone for coming in. Thank you. We'll see you. Happy holidays. We'll see you. I'm gonna go watch some Rankin and Bass. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm gonna go do it. We love it. We love it. No! 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 No!